What is up, everyone, and welcome back to the Squared Circle Addicts YouTube channel. It's me, your buddy Nessa, better known as GreatLove91 on Twitter, on Instagram as well. Sorry for the lighting, I just realized how bad it is. I don't even know why it's this bad when I have my window open. What if I, move it to the side? I don't know if that's any better. But, hello guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Friday, which means we are one day away from NXT Takeover Toronto, which is why I am here, because I am here to give you guys my predictions and to talk to you about the show and what I hope going forward, and hopefully start a conversation either down below in the comments or on my Twitter. Doesn't matter, but either way, I'm super excited for this weekend because I feel like this weekend there's going to be a lot of good wrestling, not just with NXT TakeOver, but with SummerSlam as well. So I'm super duper excited. So let's get down to business, shall we? The first match, or rather the first match that I'm going to discuss, because I have no idea how this card order is going to go. This is just me assuming. First match up for discussion is Io Shirai versus Candice LeRae. This is one of two women's matches on the card tomorrow night, which is huge because TakeOver has never seen two women's matches, but we're about to see it this weekend, so hell yeah for that. I think this feud is phenomenal, and I definitely think that this match has the potential to be the show stealer of the night. We all know that Io Shirai is freaking fantastic. Her feud with Shayna Baszler was one of the better feuds of 2018 and even going into 2019. So we all know that she's great, and I love this whole heel persona that she's taken on, and how she says that she doesn't need anyone and she doesn't need any friends and that she's only looking out for herself. Her entrance is still badass. I absolutely love it. And then on the other side of that, we have Candice LeRae, who hasn't necessarily been able to show herself and show her worth in NXT, but if you do know her from her indie, her time in the indies with Joey Ryan, then you know she's a fantastic wrestler, and that's why I am so excited for this match, just because we haven't really seen Candice wrestle in NXT. It's been more of, oh, she's Johnny Gargano's wife, and that's fine, but it's just let her wrestle, and now she is, and now she has this feud going on with Io. Io attacked her after Candice, continuously came to her aid, helping her with the 4 Horsewomen. But, I guess Io just is tired of losing and wants to cut the slack, maybe in her eyes and her estimation. So I'm excited for this, just to see Candice wrestle freaking finally. And then, of course, because Io Shirai is on the other side, I think this is going to be a phenomenal match. As far as who I want to win, who I want in my heart to win, I definitely am rooting for Candice LeRae. She's from the Inland Empire, so my heart is a little bit impartial there because I am also from the Inland Empire. So definitely my heart wants Candice, but my wrestling brain tells me that Io Shirai is going to come up with the win, just because I don't see a point in newly booking her as heel only to make her lose. Heels are supposed to be dominant and supposed to be nasty and take out competition. So I feel like Io losing on her first big match as a heel would be a grave injustice. So I definitely think Io Shirai will come away with the win. Again, I want Candice, but I think this is going to go to Io. So moving forward to the next match on the card is the NXT North American Championship Triple Threat, as Velveteen Dream takes on Pete Dunne, a returning Pete Dunne back to NXT, and the Messiah of the Backbreaker, Roderick Strong. Man, again, NXT, time and time again, they stack their cards, and I'm just like, this could be match of the night, but oh, this could be match of the night. You just never really know what you're going to get when it comes to NXT, and this is another match that I am excited for. I was heartbroken when Pete Dunne lost his NXT UK Championship to Walter at NXT TakeOver Blackpool. I was devastated. Walter's been a great champion, but I loved the reign of the Bruiserweight, and I think him being inserted into this simply based on merit makes so much sense because his reign was freaking almost 2 years. And then, of course, you have the ongoing feud with Velveteen Dream and Roderick Strong. I love all three of these guys, so my heart is just like, I don't know who I want to win. I'm literally fine with any of them. But, you know, a little bit of spoiler alert for the rest of the card. I really do think Adam Cole's prophecy of the Undisputed Era being dripped in gold is going to come true on SummerSlam weekend. So with that being said, I am going to go with the Messiah of the Backbreaker, Roderick Strong. I love him, I adore him, and his wife, Marina Shafir. Troy Boy is absolutely adorable. Like, man, I got favoritism all over this place. So I gotta go with Roderick. But again, I wouldn't be mad if Velveteen Dream retained and, you know, carried on his reign. Or I wouldn't necessarily be mad if Pete Dunne came away with the win as well. I think all three of them would make a great North American champion. However, like, if, you know, Roderick Strong wins, my only thing is what's next for Velveteen Dream and what's next for Pete Dunne? Do they get called up to the main roster? Does Pete go back to NXT UK? Like, who does he feud with next? You know what I mean? Like, all of these questions. But I'm definitely going to go with Roderick Strong for that one. The next match, again, is a championship match because all championships are being defended tomorrow. So, the next one is the Street Profits defending their newly won Tag Team Championships against the Undisputed Era, Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish. I am absolutely, like, ecstatic that Bobby is not injured again and that he's actually wrestling, that he's healthy, because for a while he came back and he got injured, and then, you know, he had the match at NXT TakeOver New York, and he was wearing a, what do you call that, like an arm brace, an arm sling. So I was like, oh my gosh, is he injured again? But he's fine, which is great, because now the real band is back together. Red Dragon, if you will, is back together as Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly are going to be gunning for the tag team titles. For me personally, I am very confused of what they're doing with the Street Profits, because I feel like they did the same thing with the War Raiders, or as they call them now, the Viking Raiders. Like, they gave them the titles only to put them on the main roster, and you're just like, but you just gave them the title. What are you doing? So, you know, because the Street Profits, they haven't had a match on the main roster. They just have been doing these backstage segments with, like, Seth Rollins and other wrestlers. And they've been funny. They've been, like, the comedic relief of the show, which is cool. But it's like, is that all you have planned for them? Because let's be honest, even though WWE's tag team division is stacked with great tag teams, it kind of lacks a bit. And sometimes it doesn't seem like WWE knows what they're doing with their tag team division. So I'm a little bit worried, like, why are you bringing the Street Profits on the main roster when they still have the titles? And if they're on the main roster, does that mean that they're going to drop them on, you know, tomorrow? And again, going into Adam Cole's prophecy of the Undisputed Era being dripped in gold, it makes you believe, okay, maybe the Street Profits are going to lose, and that's where I'm leaning more towards. So for this one, in my prediction, I am going with the Undisputed Era, Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish, to become the new NXT Tag Team Champions. So that's the next one. Next one, the one that I am probably most excited for, obviously, you know, is the NXT Women's Championship, as Shayna Baszler will be defending her NXT Championship against the Blasian baddie, the head baddie in charge, Mia Yim. My God, I am so excited for this one because I have seen these two wrestle in the Indies. I've seen them wrestle on the first Mae Young Classic, and I love their chemistry together, and I am so excited, and I love where this feud has gone of, like, you know, Mia kind of attacking Marina and Jessamine from behind, and Shayna calling her street trash and saying there's no room for that in professional wrestling, and Mia Yim kind of being like, I don't really give a fuck what you have to say, I'm going to do my thing, and I'm going to take your title, and then Shayna kind of being like, there's no chance in hell that you're going to do this because I am more technically gifted, I am more talented than you are. I have been reigning this division since October, and I sure as hell I'm not going to let you take it away. I love it, and I love that they're just, like, constantly throwing jabs at each other, because breaking the fourth wall here for a bit, for those of you who do not know, Mia Yim, Shayna Baszler are roommates. They're buddies. They're like besties. So I find it hilarious because I'm like, I just imagine the two of them like sitting on their couch, like laughing and being like, I'm going to say this to you and you're going to say this to me. I know I shouldn't really be breaking the fourth wall, but I just think it's great and I think it's awesome that two friends get to work together, two friends that already have chemistry. This feud has been amazing. I know a lot of people are saying that Shayna Baszler needs to drop because people don't like her ring. They think it's been boring. This is just what I read on Twitter. I obviously disagree. And then there's some people that actually love Shayna's reign, but they still want it to end because they want her on the main roster to feud with Becky Lynch. Here's my thing, because that's what I want too. I want Shayna to come out and to attack Becky on Sunday because I think it makes sense because technically Becky keeps saying that she ran Ronda Rousey out of the company, and obviously Ronda Rousey is close friends with Shayna Baszler, and Shayna Baszler is also close friends with Natalya. So the story is already there. Just have, Becky retain on Sunday, and then have Shayna come out and beat the holy crap out of her and send her away for like a week or two, because apparently Becky is taking time off of SummerSlam. So if you need to do it that way. Like have Shayna come in and make a statement. So, I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself because SummerSlam is on Sunday, but that's what I want. And that being said, I think that if something like that was to be done, I think it would be more impactful if you actually have Shayna retain and have Shayna come in as the NXT Women's Champion, and it's kind of like this champion versus champion thing. Obviously, both titles won't be on the line, or maybe they can make it be a thing, and Becky finally gets a shot at the NXT Championship. I don't freaking know. I mean, that would be amazing, but I feel like it should be done. The only time that a champion has, been a champion while on the show was with Sasha Banks, but then she, lost it right away. And then when Paige debuted, she was both the NXT Women's Champion and the WWE Divas Champion for a short time, but then they made her relinquish one. You see the Street Profits being on the main roster and being, tag team champions in NXT, and they did it for a little bit with the Viking Raiders. So it's been done before, so I say why not do it again? Why not have Shayna defeat Mia Yim? Because as much as I love Mia Yim, she's from the Inland Empire, Fontana, California. That's where I was born, so shout out to her. But I just don't think she's the one to dethrone Shayna. I have always said I want Candice LeRae to dethrone Shayna, or even Dakota Kai. I need more of a stronger babyface, and it's not to say that Mia isn't a babyface. To me, I just feel like she's more of a tweener, and she's kind of like this badass face, kind of. I don't know. Again, it's nothing against Mia. I love her, but I just don't think she's the one to dethrone Shayna. I really, really don't. So with that being said, I am going to go with my fave, Shayna Baszler, to retain her NXT Championship. I know that people might be like, that's totally blatant favoritism, and it is. It might be, but it is what it is. So I'm going to go with Shayna to retain. And now, the main event of the evening. A 2 out of 3 falls match for the NXT Championship as Adam Cole, baby, defends his championship against Johnny Gargano, Johnny Takeover, Mr. NXT, if you will. I'm stoked for this match. The last 2 matches that they have had together have been absolute bangers, and I know that they are going to give us a show on tomorrow, and I'm excited to see what Johnny Gargano is gonna wear tomorrow. Like, what superhero is he coming out as tomorrow? If you guys have any guesses or speculations, drop them down below. But yeah, I'm really excited for this match. It's 2 out of 3 falls. The first fall being a regular wrestling match chosen by Adam Cole, and then the second fall is going to be a street fight chosen by Johnny Gargano, and if need be, the third fall will be chosen by General Manager William Regal. And I know there's a lot of speculation of what is the third fall going to be. I have 2 ideas. I think it's either going to be a ladder match at the last fall, because I really, really do think we're getting that last fall. Come on, guys, you really, really think Cole is going to lose 2 straight, or Gargano is going to lose 2 straight? Nah, that's not happening. So we are definitely going to a sudden death third fall, and I think it's either going to be a ladder match or a last man standing match, because in William Regal's interview this week on NXT, he said only he knows what it's going to be, but by the end of it, we will have a definite winner. And what is more definite than a last man standing match? So I'm leaning more towards that, but I would also really enjoy a ladder match as well, because we know that those two can do a lot of amazing things with the ladder. But as far as who I am going to predict to win this thing, again, my heart wants Johnny Wrestling, wants Mr. NXT, because that guy is my favorite male superstar at the moment. I love everything that he is doing. I adore him. I would love for him to get that NXT championship back, especially because his first reign was so damn short. Like, it annoyed me. It really did. With that being said, I think Adam Cole is going to fulfill that prophecy of the Undisputed Era all being dripped in gold by the end of tomorrow night. So with that being said, I am going to go with Adam Cole, especially because, you know, we heard that Tommaso Ciampa is recovering nicely and his return might be sooner than most of us thought. And so in my opinion, I think the WWE might run with what they were running with before, and that being, you know, bringing Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano on the main roster together, perhaps to reform DIY and bring more prestige to the NXT, not the NXT, but the tag team division, and maybe, just maybe, they'll actually fucking use their tag team division if this happens, because that's my hope, because I'm just thinking about DIY renewing their feud with the Revival, or DIY versus the Usos. Like, oh my goodness, give it all to me, please. So that's just a speculation. But again, I do think Adam Cole is gonna do what he set out to do and have him and his boys all be dripped in gold. So, like I said, my heart wants Gargano, but my wrestling brain says Adam Cole. So there it is. And there you have it. There are all my predictions for tomorrow night at NXT Takeover Toronto. It's going to be a freaking stacked card. Sunday is going to be stacked as well. And speaking of Sunday, if you guys are interested, on Saturday, I will be dropping a podcast. So I'll probably put it out right before TakeOver or right after TakeOver, depending on the time thing with my guest that I'm going to have on, if that works out. We are going to bring you guys SummerSlam predictions tomorrow. The podcast will be out tomorrow. You can find it under Squared Circle Addicts. It's the same name that's on here. It's all one word. You can find it on Google Podcasts. You can find it on Spotify. You can find it on Apple. You can find it on Breaker. You can find it on Anchor. Just go look it up if you're interested in what I hope to have happen at SummerSlam, or what I think is going to happen. That'll be out tomorrow. And again, if it all works out, my friend Chris Kennedy will be joining me. But if not, it'll be just me by myself. So either way, tune in, because it's going to be fun either way. So I hope you guys enjoyed that video. Let me know what you guys think about my predictions. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Let me know in the comments below. Or as always, hit me up on Twitter at GreatLove91. And if you like what you saw or heard, please like and subscribe for more. And I'll catch you guys next time. But until then, stay safe, stay happy, but most importantly, stay addicted to the Squared Circle.